and they connected me to the ministry of a one Sarah Jakes Roberts.
Mhm.
And when I started to follow her ministry and watch her and hear her story about how she had a teenage pregnancy and something that was supposed to just shame her and count her out and make her a black sheep, and she took that pain and she
And she
turned it
turned
into
up.
purpose,
Yeah.
my life was forever changed. And I said, that's what it looks like. That's what I want to do. I don't want to necessarily be her, but
Mhm.
I want to be able to impact people with my story the way that she does. I want to be able to recognize something in women that may be a broken area for them or maybe a place of hopelessness for them. And I want to be able to give them hope. And at that moment, I woke up the next day, I kid you not. I had been going through a depressive state where at the time I wasn't even really getting dressed in the morning. I wasn't even really cognizant of who
Mhm.
was around me. I was literally in a dark place.
Right.
But the very next day after having that revelation, I woke up, I
Mhm.
went to Instagram and I
Mhm.
changed my bio to say inspirational speaker
Mm. Okay. I like that. I
without
also
any
like.
credentials. I just
No, wait
changed
a
it.
minute. It's a lot of inspirational speakers who don't have any credentials, who are GED people, and they are very inspirational and they're very smart and they come with a lot of wisdom. So you don't want to count out anyone just because they don't have those credentials,
Yeah.
because it's a lot of people that have wisdom based on past experiences. Like you can live a life
Mhm.
without a college degree. Um, but yeah, but you mentioned something particular. You were like, I did not know who I was outside of my daily routine, outside of my hamster wheel. So getting the kids, being who I am to him, and then taking care of the house. Getting the kids, being who I am to him, and then taking care of the house. And then you stated once that broke, like your whole identity you had built for yourself shattered. Like it was gone. So in that portion, because your identity was stripped. So I think that would make anybody kind of go through a state of depression. I know previously we had Candace Graves who talked about her celibacy journey. And so she stated herself, she was like, she had to go through it because she didn't know who she was outside of that. She didn't know who she was. So she had to, again, strip herself to figure out that person, to just be like, okay, so I'm not this to this person, to this human, to this boyfriend, but I need to figure out who I am to myself. And
Yeah.
so I'm loving that we as women are learning that we got to figure out us before we're able to be mothers, wives, or anybody.
Absolutely
So,
right.
yeah. I enjoyed that. So I'm sorry. Please continue with your story. I just saw
Oh,
the commonality of, other guests saying like they really had to, figure out who they were.
yeah, you have to relearn yourself. So once I did that, I proclaimed it. I made this bold statement in my Instagram bio. Then I
Hmm.
said, okay, well, now I have to live up to it. So I began to be immersed in all the things. I took a business class through Weibo at the time
Hmm.
that was doing a women's entrepreneurship program. I
Hmm.
also enrolled in different developmental conferences, anything that I could go to in order to empower myself and enrich myself so that I could be better equipped to give my story out to the masses. That's what I did. And even
Hmm.
a conference I went to in Atlanta is where I actually got my mentor, Dr. Ivy McGregor. She and I aligned through that conference. And the next thing I knew, I was having a photo shoot and printing business cards. And I was just off and hit the ground running because once I made that bold statement, that bold step in my bio, I said, I've put it out here to the world. So now I have to live up to it and I have to really truly answer the call. And one of the things that I was most concerned with was I said, God, I don't want to mishandle your people. I don't want to mishandle anybody.
Mm.
So not only do I want you to give me the words to say to empower them, but I also want you to give me the words to say once they have been empowered and they're going to have to go back to their regular everyday life with the same triggers, with the same struggles. I want you to give me something that I can use to equip them going forward as well, because that was very important to me, because I've been to a lot of events where you get all hyped and charged up, and then you leave, and then Ray's calling again, and you get that late night text again,
Listen, that
and
is
it's like, now what?
true.
So that
No,
was
that's the
important to
truth. I'm
me.
happy that you say that. Like, you don't want to mislead anybody. If you know that this is your calling, this is your purpose to build in other women, to fill up other women, then why would you want to give them false information? Why would you
Exactly.
want to present to them something or narrative that isn't true, that doesn't have any basis, any background, any foundation? Like, it's just feeding somebody leftovers or like a unnutritious meal, McDonald's. And
Yeah.
I love McDonald's, y'all. So like for real, but
It's a good guilty pleasure, but you're right. It's not for everyday consumption, basically.
Mhm, exactly. So I appreciate that. So you said you mentioned a mentor. How
Yes.
important is a mentor to women? Do you feel like how important is a mentor to
So I
to
think
to women in general? Because you said you
everybody's
have, yeah.
different. Yeah, I think everybody's different. Everybody's journey is different. For me, I'm a lot, so I require a whole village. I got I got a pastor, a mentor, a coach, a couple of wise, friends that I consider wise counsel and confidants that aren't going to be yes women.
But
So
isn't
I
that
I got a whole village.
I don't know. When people say they're a lot, are you really a lot, or are you willing to go to where what you need support? Because sometimes I think it's really good you can advocate for yourself because you need the support. It's okay to have as much quality support as possible to me.
So the reason why I say I'm a lot is because I am very dramatic, right? So I have this village, this core village that I know that I can go to, that are unbiased, that won't hold any judgment against me, that
Hmm.
when something happens to me and I'm in my Lauren initial reaction and I'm thinking that, oh my gosh, this is the end of the world. Look at this is happening. What am I gonna do? And I'm so frazzled. They are able to reel me in and say, okay, Lauren, let's rein it
Gotcha.
back. Let's pick it apart one thing at a time.
Hmm.
Let's look at, the positives. Let's look at, okay, you are on the right track. And they are the ones who I call my crown straighteners, because they
Ooh.
are behind the scenes straightening my crown for me, so that when I do present myself to the rest of the world on social media or at
Hmm.
events, I look a lot more poised, and I look like I have it more together, because people don't know that meltdown already happened behind the scenes and those people got me through it.
Listen, I don't think people know. Like, I melt down like a lot.
That's
I
right.
do.
That's me.
I melt down a lot. I'll be like, breathe and cry
Woosah.
and breathe and cry. I get it done though. Don't get it twisted. I'm gonna get it done,
Oh yeah, we do for
but
sure.
I'm gonna be crying my little heart out.
And I work, the blessing and the curse is I work very well under pressure. And the
Yeah,
reason
me
why I
too.
say that that's a curse is because a lot of times that means that I do sometimes wait to the last minute and procrastinate,
Mhm.
because I've just gotten used to the fact that I know God is going to give me what I need and pull me through, and it's going to be
That
amazing.
grace, yeah.
That grace, and I don't know how much I got left, because I've been
I was
drawn
about
from
to
it a
say
lot.
because sometimes it may run out.
But so that's me. So I get like so emotional, so flustered. But I'm just grateful to have a good village in my life. So it may not be a mentor for all women. I personally recommend one, because that's what works for me. But all I say is
Mhm,
find someone in your life. If it's not a mentor, let it be your spiritual covering, let it be a friend
mhm,
that you trust, let it be a therapist, let it be a spouse or a partner. Find someone you trust that
mhm.
you can glean from when you're having those moments where you're feeling out of sorts, or you need a little bit of direction, or you need to bounce ideas, because that is what will hold you together and keep you focused.
Yeah, I agree. Especially sometimes your friends are
Hmm.
sometimes it's like the blind leading the blind. I'm just going to be honest. It is, no, for real. Because, like sometimes it's just like you are struggling with the same issue, just not in the same time, and you didn't do it correctly. And we just, it's not good. It's
And it
not.
depends on what the issue is, because what I found is when it's relationship issues, and you might have found this too, your friends, they ready to fight. They ready to go to bat for you.
Listen. They are
just
ready to
like that.
fight. They're ready to leave. And I'm like,
Yes,
you
and it's
cannot leave everybody. You cannot. You
like
cannot walk
sometimes
away
we
and
have to
leave.
do the work.
Yes, because sometimes I'm gonna be honest, y'all. Sometimes it do be us. You cannot get up and leave everybody because you're gonna be
Yeah.
alone. Like you can't do that. So you're right. Your friends be wanting to fight. Your friends be wanting to hurry up and fix the solution, fix the problem, and it's not the correct solution
Right.
because sometimes you need talking to. You need to see different perspectives. You need to give people grace. You
Yes,
need to,
absolutely.
pray on a lot of situations because you never know who's in the wrong. It could be you, it could be them, but you do want to have the full picture. So you're right. Your friends be wanting to fight. So a mentor is really good for that. So okay, I'm so excited, but go ahead and finish the rest of your story.
Oh no, that's pretty much, the meat and potatoes of it. So once I, got myself aligned with this dream team, with this squad and this village to support me, that's when I felt like I, was able to pitch myself for certain speaking
Mm-hmm.
engagements and events. And it was like when I took that initial step, what do they say? When you take one step, God will take two.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Mm-hmm.
doors began to open where, I didn't have to pitch myself so much anymore because, people were starting to reach out to me and see if I was available for different things and different opportunities. And I wish I could tell you that everything was happily ever after that. But what I will tell you is the honest to God truth. That is when the warfare really,
I
truly
was just about to
began.
ask you that. So after you set your purpose, right? You
Yep.
do what you're going to do. You started to get your engagements, speaking to the community, speaking to others about how you can be empowering to others as well. Then what came? What thunderstorm came in?
It was the enemy was at me at every turn, and that's how I know that I was in my purpose and I was
Doing the
walking
right
the
walk.
right path.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I tell you, all of a sudden there were associates that began to whisper certain things, and that I had to kind of look over my shoulder. I didn't really know if some people in my circle were for me or against me. There was a huge thing that I went through, whereas I was dating someone, to my knowledge, and really into this person, and had talked about taking the step of marriage
Mm-hmm.
with this
Marriage.
person.
Yeah.
And they were living out of state at the time, and
Mm-hmm.
everything, to my knowledge, was great. And then it
Mm-hmm.
was later revealed that that person was married. So then you
Mm-hmm.
have an empowerment speaker that is a faith based, inspirational Christian woman who is
With
now
this
having to
scandal.
sit with the fact that, unbeknownst to me, I was somebody's mistress.
And you had no idea.
No idea.
Yeah. And for some reason, though, and I know you've probably heard this a lot, it's a lot of women who are in these type of scandals and they don't have any idea. They like
Mhm.
literally is blindsided. And you're not the first one who have had this narrative of like podcast, we definitely discuss healing. We discuss aspects of psychology. We discuss like you becoming the best you, mental wellness,
For sure.
health,
Femininity, parenthood, dating
definitely
as
dating.
single parents. And it's from a lens of two psychologists,
Yeah,
So, um,
but also to people who grew up like with both parents, married parents, and then like you all know that Chloe and I are the youngest of our crews, like her
yeah.
siblings and my siblings. So yeah, so it's from that
Looking
perspective
yeah
as
looking at
that.
life through that lens, so
Yeah.
you're gonna get a whole lot of things from us being women going through life as parents and all of these awesome attributes. But
Yeah.
yes, womanology, the study of women.
The study of women.